Ole, ole, ole. Welcome back to the show. Today is Thursday, May 7th at 8:30, and you're locked into the Checkin Habs, your up-and-coming Montreal Canadiens hockey podcast. If you bleed bleu, blanc, et rouge, you're in the right place. This is where we break down current topics on the most legendary franchise in NHL history, your Montreal Canadiens. We're talking game recaps, player performance, trade rumors, prospect updates, lineup updates, and everything happening around the league that impacts the Habs. We stream live every Thursday at 8:30, so make sure you subscribe, follow, and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. In the owner's suite, you have me, yours truly, Mr. Brian. Introducing tonight's lineup, we have Steve.
I'm back, baby.
We got some fresh blood, Mr. Sean McMahon.
Happy to be here. How you doing, boys?
It says Manny.
Oh, shit.
Oh!
It's okay. You used to call me that in
I'm
high
going to
school.
fix that right away, Sean. Sorry about
That's
that.
all right.
And we have Pat.
My name is Right.
For now. And Tony.
What's up, everybody?
All right, guys. So, all right, Habs Nation, let's do it. Let's check in with the Habs.
Oh, man.
All right, let's pull out tonight's topics. Let's go. All right, it's set. All right, guys. So, Sean, anytime you can jump in some tips, let me know. I really need it. Or a full report after the show. Send it to my email and let me know what happened.
Big
right?
fan of the podcast.
Don't forget to bill him.
All right, let's start off with the 9-shot series win. Did the Canadiens truly steal Game 7 by winning with only 9 shots? Or does that narrative overlook the defensive structure and context behind their performance? Montreal's 9-shot Game 7 win became a major talking point labeled as luck. But playoff hockey is more complex. Defensive discipline, goaltending, and game flow all shaped that outcome. So the real question is, does the dominant series performance prove Montreal earned it, or was Game 7 the exception to the rule? You guys understand that question?
That's pretty intense. It's an intense question.
So what do you guys think? Did Montreal get lucky, or did they earn that?
Everybody like it was like out of this. It was like way out of left field to only have 9 shots. Like it's the first time in history I think Montreal ever had 9 shots in a game, and like 4 shots after 40 minutes. So, like it's very unusual, but I don't think it defines the whole game. I think just as bad as Montreal played on Game 7, you can say the same thing for Game 6. Tampa Bay won that game, but I think we all can agree who the better team was, right? I think Tampa Bay...
Of Game 7.
Game 6, I'm saying.
Oh, Game 6, yeah.
Game 6, Tampa won, but Montreal was by far the better team there.
Yeah.
And Game 7, Montreal was not the better team, and they
I
won
thought
it.
Tampa was definitely the better team on the ice. They just come the second period. Once Montreal took the lead, they collapsed the neutral zone. They forced shots to the perimeter. And they played that tight game, but it was a really tight game, and it was kind of risky being that low shot. But like you said, Tony, it doesn't define anything. It doesn't really define just because it's one game low shot. It's something rare. We haven't seen it very often. But they played very conservative. It was very conservative, and it's very telling that the Canadiens do it every single game. Give you that heart attack come third period overtime. It's like they like to keep it nice and tight. So,
but Tampa also didn't have a lot of shots on net, right? Like they had 21, 20.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I thought their scoring chances were better though. Their scoring chances were a lot better. So yeah, you're right. No, it wasn't a high shot game.
What do you guys think?
Well, statistically, we're talking. It's supposed to be less than 1% chance that Montreal wins this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty insane.
99 out of 100 times they lose that game, right?
The 1% from winning from a 9-goal shot. You mean?
Yes.
Okay, it was 1%.
Sure.
It's less, just about 1%. Imagine. So that's an important statistic. Is it puck luck? Is it the gods of hockey that everybody is like kind of
Cooper's been
like everybody's hating on this right now? Well, anyways, whatever.
Don't forget, it was 9 shots on goal, but they had a lot of scoring chances, right?
Yeah. It's a special type of 9 shots that we're talking about.
You know what it is, though? At the end of the day, like Cooper talked a lot about the hockey gods at the end of it, right? And guys are talking about it. What is luck, though? You get to a 7th game in a 7-game series. For me, a 7th game is always the sum of all parts. It's not what's happening in Game 7. It's the whole series that leads up to it. So to say that they got lucky or they didn't get lucky, if you got to game 7, I mean, for the most part, it's going to be a toss-up. When you got 2 guys playing in goal, like you had Dobush and you had Vasilevsky playing, it's going to be a toss-up at the end of the day. So 9 shots or not, I don't think you can say one team was lucky or not in that position, because it's what's happened all the way up to game 7 that's determining what's going to go on for the next round. Somebody had to win, and it was close, and it was a close series. I mean, it should have been the Eastern Conference Final, to be honest.
Well,
To add to your point, Sean, if we're going to look at it that way, if you look at all of game 7s, it should be 6-1 Montreal. Because Montreal should have won 6 out of those 7 games, but it wasn't, right? It was 4-3. Well,
they were all 1-goal games too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that was really, it was really
That's how
indicative
close it
of the
was, yeah.
series. Absolutely, yeah. I agree with you.
And to look at that last game, yes, they got out. They didn't have many shots, but Montreal was able to sustain the pressure as well. They played well in the neutral zone, and they were playing fantastic defensively, apart from the goalie stealing the game. I think Vasilevsky had a better game in Game 6 than Dobush, but Dobush had a great Game 7. But Montreal's been playing defensively since the last few games of the season into the playoffs, and that had a big factor to do with them winning, and not just in Game 7, but throughout the series.
By far, like, what's surprising about the series was the defending from the Canadiens. Honestly, it's
big time.
not what I expected us to win with. You know what I'm saying? So. It's great. It's a great feeling,
But you know what it is, Steve, too? Guys, I find that really showed the evolution of this team. Because in recent years, even just as far as back as last year, in that type of a game, I'm not sure the Canadiens come out as the winner, right? So they might not have had the offense. They might not have put that many shots on net. They might have had a record low, but the defense wouldn't have had the ability to circumvent whatever the other team had to give them. In this situation, I think they've learned a lot for a young team. That young of a team to be in the playoffs. And they came out on top because they had learned from previous experiences. Marty prepped them really, really well. And despite not having the offense going, their defense was fantastic and their goalie was world class. And in a Game 7, that's literally what the difference is going to be. Yeah. So good for them.
Yeah, their depth players came out on top because
that was the key in the series.
Both teams' offensive powerhouses were held to a standstill. They were a stalemate. So Montreal was better.
I think they had a better depth on their team than Tampa did.
I think all you guys are correct 100%, but you can't deny those goals were flukes. They weren't. They were freaking flukes, man. You don't consider that were a fluke? The first goal hit off
the back.
They're grindy goals. Like
they're grinding goals, but they're fluky
you
goals. You
can't always get these beautiful goals. They need.
Yes, I know, but if it wasn't for those fluky goals, even I don't want to go to.
Well, look at the goal that went off of. It was a Game 5 or Game 4. It went off of Hagel, off the chest and in. The same thing.
Well, you talk about luck. Sometimes you got to make your own luck.
Exactly.
And if you play well, you make your own luck.
But Montreal won this series a lot on luck. There was a lot of luck. It was that goal that Texier just
disagree there.
Waltzed into the goalie crease, hit his chest, and went in.
So you're telling me Montreal won this series?
Not fully, but there was a big luck. They had a bunch of lucky goals. You can't deny that. There was a bunch of lucky goals.
I'm gonna disagree with that 100%.
Were they nice setup play goals, or like every goal was beautifully set up?
You have to look at the game as a whole. They played better defensively.
I do. And if Newhook didn't swipe that puck in midair and hit the Valesky's butt and go in from behind the net, practically, Montreal probably wouldn't be around.
Let me ask you a question. Did you notice that every game Tampa Bay always tried to switch tried to change momentum by switching their style of play because they couldn't contain Montreal's speed and the way they were forechecking and entering the neutral zone.
Like in the beginning, they're trying to be tough.
They tried to pull the Florida the Panthers style. They tried to go heavy and they tried to be physical. They tried to do the skill game. They kept changing it around. Montreal stayed more consistent. Montreal did make a lot of mistakes. They're a young team. They're inexperienced. All they had was last year 5 games against Washington. Montreal was the better team all around in 7 games. Like I'm sorry, I disagree totally with you that they won by luck. If you look, I
didn't say they won by luck. I said they got a lot of lucky breaks to win this series. That's what I'm saying.
So
they
Tampa
didn't win.
So the Tampa. Don't forget, like Sean said, they were so close. These teams are so evenly matched. You need to get luck somewhere. Yeah. Sometimes it's gonna come up.
I think that's why Montreal won the series, is because they had that little extra lucky edge, like Cooper said. luck was on their side. The hockey gods were on their side a bit because they both played very well. They both were at each other's.
Well, no, there
feet.
was games where they had lost and they were the better team. So, like I said before, if we look
Talking
at
about game
each game,
6? Talking about
no,
game
I'm talking
6?
about the whole series. There's games where they lost and they should have won. So if we look at each game, who should have been the actual winner? It should be 6-1 Montreal, but that's not the way things work. Tampa Bay took 3 games because they got lucky too. One of the games they totally dominated, in Montreal, but it's part of the game, luck. But
100%. I understand that.
But you know what it is, Brian, and I don't know how much as the new guy, I don't know how much I'm allowed to challenge you. But
as much as you want.
100%.
Then I disagree with you.
Bring it on, Sean.
I
Let's
disagree with you
go.
entirely. No, you know what it is? I think that your
You can leave
judgment.
now.
I appreciate it. It's been really fun, guys. Thanks for having me. This is terrific.
And your mic is off now.
Nothing works. No, you know what it is? I think that your judgment, like a lot of Habs fans, and I put myself in that category too, I think might be clouded a little bit by recency bias. And what I mean by that is, this wasn't an elegant series. Right? It was
That's
a
true.
really hard fought, kind of messy series. It started rough. It started with guys that you don't usually see the role guys, the bottom 6, the Andersons, the Evans, the Gallaghers when he got in finally into the
Doc,
playoffs.
he was
The Doc.
quiet all season. All of a sudden, he's
So you got guys playing roles that they haven't really been visible in for the most part this season because the top guys, your top 6, especially your top 3, the guys who were potting 50 and 100 points, they were making all the noise. They were doing all the damage, and they were playing pretty hockey. This wasn't pretty hockey. So I think for those of us who are thinking they got lucky or they were luckier than the other, there was luck on both sides. Some teams should have won. They didn't win, and it was the other way around the other games. But we didn't see elegant hockey. It wasn't tic-tac-toe. They weren't moving the puck like crazy like they do in the regular season. 5-on-5, inexistent. Power play had a little bit going. And then you watch that and you go, oh, they got lucky. I think they just played the hockey that they had in front of them. Like they were prepared to do what the day offered them, and that's what it was. And we're just not used to seeing that this year. That's why I think we might have a bit of a skewed judgment as Habs fans this year.
Well said, Sean. You make a lot of sense. Yeah.
So I can stay?
All right, for now.
All right, good.
You brought Tim Hortons, okay.
Thank you.
Steve, anything to say?
I listen. Do I think that there's luck involved? Of course, there's some luck involved. What they pulled off, I think it was just the right amount of luck. Okay, it wasn't extreme amount.
Yeah, I think so too.
They had a lot of talent on that team, and they were all around much better, in my opinion, than Tampa Bay. And whatever tactics, the Lightning used was kind of sketchy sometimes to get to us.
But it worked though, eh?
Yeah, it got to our head for sure. It got to my head. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm
it was
losing
everything
here.
in this series.
Yeah.
Tactics on the ice, tactics from the coaching staff. This series had everything. It was fantastic. Look at that Game 6, one of the best hockey games I've seen in a long time.
That's tremendous.
It was fantastic. At the end of
It
the
was
day,
intense.
guys, in a 7-game series, the best team won. Overall, Montreal overall was the better team. Not just offensively, but defensively. In a whole, they were the better team.
So what's the conclusion in general? What do you think, guys? What's
That's 9 game. The 9 shots was horrendous, but it doesn't define anything about why they came out on top. I had nothing to do with why they deserved it or didn't deserve it. They deserved it 100%, regardless of the 9 shots. They were the better team throughout the whole series, in my opinion. No?
I think if you choose to look at the team pragmatically, right? If you could look at it and say they got 9 shots, they got lucky, they won the game. But really, at the end of the day, it might just speak to the level of maturity that the team has attained. If they've been able to have a game like that and still come out on top, it means they're well prepared. They've learned a lot about themselves, and even when their top guys aren't going, because that was the concern going in. If these guys go silent, we're not going to win. They were silent. They evaporated. They're still not there against Buffalo. And they still found a way to beat Tampa Bay. So I think you kind of look at it the other way around. I'm choosing to be glass half full. They can't keep doing that. But at the end of the day, I think they did a really good job coming out on top with what they had available to them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what's your final verdict.
Oh.
By the way, Sean, Pat's a Bruins fan, so
I'm sorry to
we
hear
got
that.
a undercover agent over here.
No,
We'll have a eulogy after.
I don't know. You guys kind of covered everything. What I liked about the Canadiens in that first round was just how they played with so much depth. And Tony, you said it. the better team found a way to win. And we can talk about luck all day, but you can go back every year, and every Stanley Cup champion has had a lot of lucky goals in all their series. So it's part of the game. You got to be quick to adapt to it. And I think having a young team like the Canadiens, we're more shocked than anything to see these young guys with zero experience and just one coach lead the way with so much change on the fly and adaptability, and they're doing such a great job. And we talk about how the top 3 guys weren't playing, but they did such a good job at containing Tampa's top 3 guys. And if it cost them their top lines, what makes you win series is depth. I said this before, the Bruins in 2011 won because of depth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their fourth lines, their third lines were winning these key games, these 2-1 games, these 1-0 games. And if Manny was here, he would agree with me. And I remember those key games that would win those game 7s, those game 6. And it wasn't Bergeron on the top line that was doing it. It was the bottom guys that were doing it.
That was the year Toronto was up 3-1, and then the Blues.
And they came back 4-3. We always have to shut them.
They were up 3-0. Was it 3-0 they're up?
They
were up 3-0.
I think so.
No, in the game they were up like 4-1 or something.
Oh, the game,
In
yeah.
the game.
No, they were in the game.
7.
No, in the game it was 4-1.
4-1?
Yeah,
Going
4-1.
into the third period, 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
4-1 on the scoreboard.
Gosh.
You have the game.
What a choker.
10 minutes and something left. They
Huge.
scored 3 goals. Bergeron's tying goal.
That tells you about
and
luck, though, because
But-
really, every team needs a little bit of luck, and sometimes nobody talks about how many
100%.
overtimes did we win in '93.
Right.
A lot of them,
Right.
And nobody. I mean, we still talk about it because it kind of became hockey lore.
Right.
But they won the cup because they won all those 1-goal games, winning in
Right.
overtime. You take those away, you take a few of them away, they don't win that cup in 1993. So I mean, yeah, luck, but sometimes luck's part of the game. It's got to go. It's got to go some way. And in their case, it went their way, and it was the last time they won.
I agree. It's
and I was in
100%.
grade 6. So,
That's it.
yeah.
Trust
a
me,
long
I
time
was
ago.
praying that. I was like a little kid. Please, God. It was great. But I guess, history, is always made with Canadians in the Habs. So we always set the tone in a negative or a positive light. And in this case, the 9
Especially in
shots.
this city.
The 9
kidding.
shots just shows that we continue to make history. So, listen, it's all good, man. We pulled it off. I'm happy.
Yeah, good for them.
Very good for them. See that? I love that video at Martin Louis at the end in the
Wolf of Wall Street.
locker room.
Hey, what are they calling the Wolf of St. Catherine? Is that what they're calling it? That's great.
Wolf of St. Catherine.
How can you not want to play for the guy, too? You see stuff like that in the locker room. How can you not? I mean, these guys would run through a brick wall for Marty right now. It's just, it's great to see the culture in that locker room. It's terrific.
Well, he talks to them on their level. Right? He doesn't put himself higher, So it shows a lot of respect.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
But like we mentioned before, the kind of career St. Louis had in his life, he can relate
To
to
all of them, yeah.
all those players.
Well, they want to
Absolutely.
listen to him, too. When you got a Hall of Famer behind the
Exactly.
bench,
Yeah.
and he's not even that far removed from his career,
Exactly.
it's hard not to when he's giving you advice, and he's also running the stairs, working on the thighs. He's got the big thighs and the big quads. How do you not listen to the guy? Hall of Famer telling you what you should. I mean, you would see all the clips of him working with Demidov and all this.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see because you can see how receptive this young team is to a guy like Marty. That's just going to continue. They're all coming up together. It's amazing, really amazing.
There's a few clips of him with like at certain points with Cole Caulfield. I think Demidov do. You see him like, teaching him something, and then you see footage of him doing the game right after
later
doing
that night.
move.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Remember when he totally deked the goalie in practice? Was it last year or the year
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Still got
Yeah,
it.
he's
That's
still got
amazing too. You have a coach that can actually fucking still play, man, and still
Yeah.
actually show you instead of
Yeah.
Dubiki. Dubiki, like our special guest tonight. Dubiki writes, "I'd rather be lucky than good." Nice to see you guys. Good job.
Good job, Mike.
He hasn't come in a while. Mike, when are you coming? Let us know. Let's do a poll. When will Mike Dubiki come? Oh, I just outed him. Google Trends of Mike Dubiki and I'm skyrocketing now. Sorry about, well, it's in his name anyways. It's in his.
He's got
username.
100 LinkedIn connection requests.
That's
All
his
right, so
name.
I think that's it. You guys all agree that they
Yeah.
freaking earned that series, and even though it was a nine-shot series,
Yeah, it was
they
very
earned
rare.
it.
Yeah. You're just lucky Hedman
They
wasn't
were
playing.
not by far the worst team in Game
So
7, but
lucky
they
Hedman
earned it.
wasn't playing.
Okay, let
That's
me
true.
ask you quickly before we go because we still have time. Why did he only get 9 shots?
Why? Because I think that, like I said it before,
They're
I
just
think
playing super defensive, or they're just
yeah,
staying
their
teams are
strategy.
tight.
They closed down.
Did you see how Tampa was
both
clogging
teams are
that neutral?
tight. Tampa Bay did 29 shots.
Did you see the way they were clogging the neutral zone? Tampa
Yeah,
Bay.
yeah.
It was so hard to
Yeah, it
get
was so
in,
hard.
and they were directing Montreal wide. Montreal
outside.
couldn't infiltrate the center of the ice. They got a dirty goal. Look at Suzuki's first goal. He tipped it and it deflected off the defenseman and
That's
went
it.
in.
That's
You
why I was saying they're lucky.
You need
They got
those goals
lucky.
sometimes.
They got lucky in this game.
But they didn't get
Yeah.
lucky. You made it sound like they got lucky for
they-
the whole series.
No. They definitely earned their way to Game 7. You can't take that away from them. I'm just saying they won Game 7 with just a little bit
But
luck.
Look at if they only got 9 shots. Usually you have 9 shots, the other team is bombarding you and they're scoring 5, 6, 7 goals. Montreal was still
That's
able
true.
to contain them, so they played well defensively, right?
Well,
Usually
thanks
you
to
don't get 9
Dobbins.
shots, you're playing like crap. You have to look at the whole game as well, right? Not just the 9
100.
shots.
100%. Let's not get back into it. Let's move on.
You asked the question.
I did. I opened it. I opened the door.
Brick.
All right. Mike says he hopes so too. That's not an answer. I need a date. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I wrote this before game 1 against Buffalo, so let's just pretend game 1 didn't happen yet, okay? All right, can Montreal exploit Buffalo's weaknesses the way Boston almost did? What 4 strategies should the Habs deploy against the Atlantic Division? Buffalo looks untouchable as Atlantic Division favorites, but Boston's series left a blueprint. Here are 4 strategies from the blueprint Montreal can use to tame the Sabres' young core. Which of these 4 strategies do you think is the most critical matchup for Montreal to win? So my first takeaway, take away the middle. The Bruins showed that Buffalo gets frustrated and turns the puck over when you clog the house and force them to the boards. You guys agree?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
You guys all agree?
absolutely.
Number 2, Montreal's trio of Evans, Deneau, and Suzuki are all over 55% on draws, while Buffalo doesn't even have a single regular pivot over 49%.
That's huge.
So they got to win that circle.
Yeah, they did well in the Tampa game, in the Tampa series. So if they can maintain winning the faceoffs, that's going to be a plus. The more you have the puck, the better chance you have of winning. Or
Yeah,
Especially at key
Well,
moments.
You're controlling the game. It's all about controlling the puck when you win those.
Well, the
faceoffs.
Canadiens are a puck possession team, right? So if you can start off winning in the dot, you're going to get that puck. And these are guys that can keep it, they can carry it. They're a counterattack team too, but they're not dump and chase. I mean, this is the kind of team that
they'll do it
benefits
when they
from
need to.
when
but
they
yeah,
need to
yeah.
for sure, and they've
But they
learned
got-
to adapt to it. But they
break in with that speed sometimes that they don't need to dump and chase.
No, exactly. Not anymore. They used to. I mean, there were years of dump and chase. It was the
That's
most
all it was.
frustrating hockey.
The difference is with Buffalo, you're gonna get those like Buffalo with Boston. Boston tried to not give them that odd man rush, right?
Right.
Montreal, just like you said, they're gonna attack more, so you're gonna get those odd man rushes. So Montreal has to be able to not make those mental mistakes and force those odd man rushes.
We'll probably talk about it after, but that's what happened last night was,
Yeah, that's what happened last night. But that's what in regards to your topic, that's what they need to do in order to maintain a consistency and create wins, right?
Anybody else?
You know, the only other thing that I'd add on the faceoffs, because I think it's an overlooked aspect of winning the game in the faceoff circle, is that especially because the offense is completely dried up 5-on-5 lately, they need to be on the power play. The team that wins the faceoff has possession, but what happens when you have possession? The other team ends up hooking and hacking and holding, and that creates opportunities to get on the man advantage. So having the puck off the faceoff is going to create opportunities to draw penalties. And nobody wants to do that against the Canadiens because they're they should be so lethal on the power play. So if they're going to make make a run in these playoffs, it starts in the face-off circle. You tend to think of it later, but I find that that's where it starts, and we forget that because they need to be on the power play, especially if 5-on-5 is what it's been so far.
Yeah, don't forget, Montreal was one of the top scoring teams in the season, and they played round one a team that was even higher in scoring. So,
But the people who did that scoring are virtually invisible so far. In
Oh, that's part of the problem, yeah.
unfortunately.
So was Tampa, but I'm saying if
That's
you compare
true.
Tampa to Buffalo, Tampa Bay was more of an elite scoring team this year than Buffalo. You know, Buffalo was below Montreal and Tampa Bay in regards to
Were
scoring.
they? I'm sure they're.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were. Oh, they were.
Montreal was the second.
Or was sorry, I just wanted to quickly check. Well,
They were
okay.
up there at the end because since December they were the best team in the league
100%.
since December. But
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
but
fun.
Tampa was up there with Colorado and I think Minnesota.
Yeah, they're up. They scored.
I mean, they had more goals this season than the
Yeah.
Canadians did at 288 to 283, I think it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, like Tampa was 3 point something a goal per game, which is you know.
But all this Buffalo kind of came at the end, right? Kind of.
Not really.
No?
To the second half of the season.
The second, yeah. Good pickups and
Yeah.
Mhm.
And going back, Sean, you were saying about the power play. I didn't know this, but Buffalo is only 4.2%.
Yeah,
On the
they
power
yeah,
play.
they don't know.
That's
The
terrible.
difference with Buffalo is they're more
Well,
mobile, especially on defense. So it's harder to contain them, and they got big guys, but their
Very
power
big
play,
guys.
very big guys. So,
Yeah.
but their power play is abysmal. You know,
Isn't
Well,
it like
then
6'1", the smallest guy?
six
Yep.
6'2".
Wow.
I think 6'2" is the shortest defenseman.
No.
Yeah.
Well, there's that guy Benson,
Yeah.
but
6'4",
besides
no?
that, after.
No, I think 6'2".
yeah, they're
the third
huge.
now.
That's the difference.
Well, they're huge and they're heavy, too. They're one of the heavier teams
Well,
in the NHL.
yeah.
So,
and they're quick too for their size.
Yeah.
well, the whole team's
They are.
quick, and I mean, they use the space on the ice. And if anything is going to advantage the Canadians, is the fact that they can use the fact that the Buffalo Sabres play a similar style. They use a lot of the ice. They play a lot of east-west.
Mhm.
They can also play pretty hard north-south. But the Canadians can find spaces against Buffalo that they probably were not going to find and did not find against Tampa. It's going to be a very different series. No, it really
Yeah,
is.
I find Tampa played more of an east-west and tried to control the game. Buffalo is more of a north-south. They play east-west, but they play more north-south. They want to rush
but
right
they'll
away.
give
right?
you
Yeah,
space. Though.
but
That's
yeah,
the
exactly.
Thing.
Yeah.
But playing that north-south will create more space because you're not going wide, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. You're gonna get a lot more space with them. So they gotta make sure they what's the word I'm looking for?
Take advantage.
Take advantage.
They got to
There you go.
capitalize.
Capitalize. That's
Mhm.
the word I was
Capitalize,
looking at. Capitalize.
So you're saying, Brian, that their power play is at what is it exactly?
4.2%.
Yeah.
Is that for the postseason or for the
Good.
regular season?
I think that's a good question. This could be regular season.
Yeah, I think it's regular season. They weren't good on the power play
Even the
all year.
Avalanche aren't very good on the power play too.
Yeah, with the Avalanche scoring 9 goals in the playoffs, I think they'll be okay.
It's crazy. Eh? They'll be all right.
They're a different
Nice.
machine.
They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine.
They're different machines.
We have 9 shots. They have 9 goals. That's pretty good. Eh? Good job, guys.
Not quite the same. All right. Okay, my third point. Anybody? Could I move on? Anybody
Yeah,
else?
go,
have
go,
any
go.
words? All
Let's get rid
right.
of it.
Number 3, make Alex Leon work. Leon was great against Boston, but he
Lion.
hasn't faced. It's not Lion.
A line.
It's line.
Line.
What did I say? Leon.
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 It's not a furniture store, Brian.
Leon. It's Lion, right? Lion.
Yeah, Alex Lyon.
Okay, make.
L-Y-O-N.
Okay, let me do this again. I'll edit that part out. Make Alex Lyon work. Lyon was great against Boston, but he hasn't faced the ugly net front pressure that Brendan Gallagher and Josh Anderson provide. I did not watch any of the Boston series. Is that true? Did Boston not really attack the front? That's what I'm.
Boston, what I noticed, and I was going to bring it up earlier, I found that Boston attacked, they were very strong on the forecheck. They put a lot of bodies on their defensemen, which was interesting because their game that they won 6-1 or 6-0, it was, and they talked about it, I was like, man, that's a key to beat Buffalo, and I'm hoping they do it every day, is that they have to lay the body on their defensemen. If you can do that, their defensemen can't break out quick because they have that speed. They're big on size, but if you can hit them hard, they're just going to give up the puck and try to bring the puck up, but they're not going to skate with it, and that's what happened in that Boston game. But then Boston became
But were
Boston.
they hitting
and-
the slot hard? Were their bodies in front of the net?
of course, yeah. They
Well,
were.
Boston's
they,
a heavier team than
but,
Montreal,
but
right?
that's it. Yeah, Boston is a heavier team. They're going to need that Gallagher. They need Josh Anderson laying the hits. They need
Grittiness.
Gallagher in the front of the
They need
net.
Slav. They need
Just
Slav getting there
causing,
and,
yeah.
Slav
You
needs to
need
be
that.
involved.
Absolutely, you do need that.
and Gallagher.
But-
But Gallagher's going to play in the series.
I think so.
I think you
He's
need
too-
him.
I'm surprised he put in Villano. I was happy he put in Villano. But,
Villano had a great game.
Yeah, he had a great
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
For 4 or
I'm
5
happy.
hits, he was good. He was
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
it around. He looked good.
Bolduc played well, but I don't know if Gallagher is going to see a game this season.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, I mean, is he? Again, look, I like Gallagher. I understand. I mean, is the ice time even there to make an impact? If he's going to make an impact, it'll be on the emotion of the game, the stuff on the bench, being in the locker room. When you're down 1-0 and you're going into the third period, you look at Gallagher, you know that he's playing. You can't not play. Like, you're going to play up to, but he's not out there for 18, 19 minutes, right? So, get in front of the net, but that's not probably going to be the difference maker, is Brendan Gallagher.
Yeah, if you're going to play him 4 or 5 minutes.
No, and the thing with Alex Lyon too is they didn't even start the season with Lyon, the series with Lyon against Boston, right? So
he got hurt,
and he's smaller. So if you look at the difference makers between Adobesh, who can see stuff through traffic because he's huge,
he's fucking tall.
But what's great about Buffalo is they're big guys. They're really big, but they have a great tendency of knowing when to move out of the way to let Lyon, who's a smaller goalkeeper, see the shot. Yeah. So if they're going to get out of the way and let him see the lanes, well, the Canadians got to get in front of him. And if they're not doing that, then, I mean, it's just going to be open highway and Lyon's going to stop him every day.
He's going to stop.
But they got to get up high on him. That's where he's been beaten so far in the postseason. They got to get up high. Yeah.
Well said, Sean.
And the advantage Montreal has is that they're not facing a Vasilevsky this round.
Well, and again, that's where if you look at where the differences are going to be, where they match up. Buffalo's got great defense. Canadians should technically have the offense to match up with Buffalo. Where's the difference? It's going to be in net. And if Dobish continues the way like he played against Tampa, they should have the advantage.
Yep.
They should.
Yeah, immediately when I saw this series coming, I'm like, we're not facing Vasilevsky anymore. I'm like, okay, we have some opportunity here.
Thank God.
But let's just...
It's a different game now.
Yeah.
Buffalo's a totally different strategy.
As I said it before the playoffs started, I would have preferred to play Buffalo than Tampa.
You're still crazy.
Yes. You're always saying it.
You're still crazy, Tony.
You want to say it again?
Say it
I just said
One more time.
I'm not worried at all.
Okay.
All right. Before I say the fourth and final strategy, I just want to hit the chat. And Furio, welcome back. This guy's our number 2. You got Simo, you're number 1. This guy's our number 2. He says, it's best to be good and lucky. Yeah, that's probably from before. And then Cole Caulfield stopped scoring. Well, Cole stopped scoring, yes.
Start scoring. Yeah.
Montreal will win in 6. Oh, he's a believer. And goaltending wins playoffs, 100%.
Amen to that.
Thanks for the comments. My last strategy they should implement is pressure the first pass. Buffalo's offense starts with Dahlin and power, so the Habs must disrupt their breakout to keep their forwards from skating downhill. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
pretty much what I said
Block
before.
the neutral zone, and then you'll get that done.
Because I think 2 of their goals were like 2-on-1s. Well, one was
their first 2 goals were
Hudson fell.
That was a mistake.
So that was
a
mistake. But then there was another goal that was they were on 2-on-1.
Was it 2-on-1? It was a cross ice and
yeah. Anything to say about that? I think we pretty much covered that part.
They can't let the big bodies get going, right? I mean, I think that's the key because you got guys like Tage Thompson. You don't want to let them get momentum coming through the neutral zone and skating down, bearing down on guys like Hudson. And not that I'm worried about a guy like Hudson. He's a smaller guy, but he's extremely intelligent. But I mean,
he's a big guy with a lot of skill.
It's like Anderson with 40% more talent, right? So he's no offense, Josh, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but I love Josh.
Just 40%. Really? If you said 45, maybe you would take it.
I was rounding down, but you can't let those guys get speed. So if they can clog up the neutral zone and but also put some pressure, I mean, the Canadians are good on the forecheck with guys like Bolduc when they're going, and Veleno, and these guys create and they stay in the zone. And Deno, ever since he came in, I think Deno's really helped their cycle game. Which the Canadians are pretty good at with their top guys, but Deno's really, really helped. And when they can keep them down low, then that means if you're in their zone, they're not in yours, right? Exactly. So I think it's a really, really important strategy.
Deno's a good key. He also relieved a lot of pressure off Evans and Suzuki in certain key face-offs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He slowed down a little bit, but you can see this is the time of year for Philip Deno. It's pretty great. Yeah.
Just hope he didn't fill up too much on pizza, man.
Pizza boy.
He did it again.
Yeah, I know. He's doing it all the time. Huh? All right. If you're enjoying the show so far, guys, don't forget to hit subscribe and give us a like. Make sure you schedule a reminder every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern so you never miss an episode. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Yeah. So this is the one that for a lot of talk we'll be saying. We kind of touched it on the topic before, but
a touch. Okay.
All right.
We touched it a bit, but it's okay. But it's okay. Yeah.
How did the Canadians perform in Game 1 against the Sabres, and which key factors shaped the final result? Game 1 set the tone for the series. Montreal pushed speed and physicality, while Buffalo played disciplined zone defense and capitalized on chances. what do you see from Montreal's forecast sorry, let me read that again. What did you see from Montreal's forecast that actually worked, and where did they leave real goals on the table or opportunities? What do you guys feel?
Opportunities. I think the first period was just the opportunity lost. That's what they missed out on, and it happens.
What happened in the first 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's always
They
the
got
same
a penalty.
story. Always.
It killed the whole momentum.
Always.
And they made a good comment on the show yesterday on the broadcast. For the type of team that they have, they shouldn't have started their first line. Start your gritty line. Start your Anderson line.
True.
Get the momentum going. You're playing away. You want to get the crowd out of it. You want to get the home team out of it. But you started your Suzuki line, and then you get a penalty, and then you have guys for the first 3-4 minutes who don't even see the ice. Their feet are cold, and it's hard to get into the game after. Like Demidov. You barely saw him the first period until he got comfortable and he set up the first goal, right?
There was a lot of jitters in the first period, 100%. Like they just needed to shake off that bit of the 72-hour rest that they had, type of thing, and it showed that there's a new wave of attacking and defense that they weren't used to all of a sudden, because they were so used to the lightning tactics that now all of a sudden you're like, oh, what the hell's happening right now? So
yeah, Buffalo has that brute force, and
don't forget go ahead. Sorry,
I was saying they really set the tone with their brute force and their physicality for sure, 100%. I think Montreal tried to match it, but watching the first period, how many times the crowd cheered every time Montreal was getting hit. It was like a moment there for 2 minutes. Montreal was just hitting the floor, man, getting whacked.
I said this last week on one of the topics. The Tampa Montreal series was so gritty. It went 7. Buffalo had time to rest, and that series took a toll on Montreal. So that had an effect on it. Plus, the two teams are trying to feel themselves out, right, in the first game. So, there's going to be a lot of mistakes. Montreal made a lot of defensive mistakes. The first goal was a collapse by Hudson. If they can maintain their defensive structure, I don't see a problem, especially what Sean said about how Montreal needs to attack. If they do that going forward, they're going to have no problems pulling out wins.
And there's an adjustment period every time you get from one series to another, right? You get one style to the next, and, you're starting on the road, right? So you got the crowd, there's the emotion, there's a long pregame ceremony, the whole thing. I mean, they were really going in Buffalo. Credit to the Buffalo crowd, because they've been fantastic this whole, postseason. 100%. But there's an adjustment period. There's also a little bit, I think, and nobody's going to admit it, but I really think that it's more common than we want to admit. When a team like the Canadiens, who I think has been punching a little bit over their weight this season. I think they're ahead of the curve that they thought they'd be on. You beat Tampa, the team that beat you in 2021. It's kind of like their Achilles heel for how many years? Was that a little bit their Stanley Cup, right? You come off of that. It was so emotional. It went 7. It was gritty. It was hard. And then there's got to be a bit of a letdown period, that now you got to gear back up for Buffalo. Different series, different type of players. The way I see it, it's the way Marty goes is the way the team goes. And Marty came out after the game and he was like, you know what? Even at 4-2, I still thought we had a chance. They played well. A couple of bad breaks in the beginning. That stuff gets back to the locker room. When your coach isn't out there, panicking and throwing guys under the bus, they see that. And you can see that the attitude that Marty brings is the attitude.
Such an amazing point, honestly.
It really is. They're a mirror of Martin St. Louis. And that is... It's going to benefit them for years to come, but it's an impressionable young group of young leaders, and they see that, and I don't think they're worried going into Game 2. And they played well enough at one point that I thought they were going to come back at 4-2.
Yeah, that's true. I think
the third period. But it was a little too late.
A little too late
to do anything about it.
But they adjust now.
Did you guys notice the forward line? They had more open ice. Like Caulfield had more looks. He was more visible on the center of the ice compared to the Tampa game where he couldn't get any space. Yeah. They kept him on the outside.
That's true.
So Savkovsky too. So let them adjust. I think these guys you're gonna see a lot more of them because it's a different defense. They're structured differently, Buffalo. I saw a lot more chances and a lot more open ice for their top
Not
players.
as suffocating against Buffalo.
Exactly.
So Cole is so good at finding all those little spots. You know, the nooks and crannies on the ice, backdoor stuff. He's going to cycle off the puck. He'll be able to do that against Buffalo. He couldn't do that too much against Tampa.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see. And if he can get some space and get a seam, even though he hasn't performed, when a guy scores 50, 51, 52 in a season, if you see him going backdoor, the D is going to look to him because they know that he's lethal and has been all season. Well, that's just enough that all of a sudden Slav finds the slot and he gets the one-timer from, Suzuki out of the corner.
Exactly.
It's going to open up space for, and once Cole gets one, I mean, it just feels like the floodgates are going to open.
Yeah,
I think he
feel
needs to
there's
wake up, though.
something-
He needs to wake
And
up.
next week they're playing on a Saturday.
Honestly,
Thank
like,
goodness.
otherwise
right.
this is going to turn into an Austin Matthews where he hits the playoffs and he's just going to choke and you're not going to hear from him. He needs to do something.
That's what I'm worried.
I
feels like there's-
he's not playing. Like, he needs to wake up. He needs to wake up or they need to drop him.
Well, it's
a
not
line
sustainable. You're
and
right.
just trying to wake up, do something. Shake up the lines, do something. They can't keep it the way it is.
Do you
right
separate
now.
them at this point? I know I'm not the host. Do you separate them at this point?
No, because I saw an upside for game one. So like they're adjusting, and I saw that it was different than
You're wasting a top line space right now. I say you shift, you drop him one
until
game,
you lose at
wake him
home.
up,
There's no reason
and
to switch.
You've got
right
other
away.
guys.
Sorry, I missed what you're drop Caulfield from the first line. You're saying? Oh yeah.
Well, I think it's more separate Suzuki and Caulfield.
Yeah,
right?
separate Suzuki and
yeah.
Caulfield. Wake Caulfield up. It's going to wake up his game, and at the same time, there's a few other better players that deserve that top spot with Suzuki. So why not just for one
I
game?
think
I'm
that
not saying for the rest
conversation
of them.
should be revisited after Friday's game and see what happens.
Dude, we went 7 games. We haven't seen him.
but it's a new series.
I get it. But now even this, we're going to see another 6 games. No, if Marty St. Louis is going to do like he does and adjust not only every game, but he adjusts as every period goes, he should do
Well, and you
this.
see, he doesn't
I
do
think.
that very much. And that's the one thing that I would like to see more from Marty is the on-the-fly adjustments. Just once or twice, second, third period.
Oh, you mean play...
double shift Cole on a third line at one point, get him away from the top D pairing, and
See
see
how
if
it
he can
goes.
get some space. And, that might be just enough to get him going,
Double
get a
shift, and
couple of looks. Not the whole game. He plays
Good
with
idea.
this the whole
Get
but
him
get him
going.
away from
Light
guys and
that
get him
fire.
going.
Like he did with Suzuki in Tampa, I think in game 6.
Yep.
Yeah,
he switched
he
to
was
that.
double shifting him.
Yeah.
He was-
Every now and then, just read the game. I'm sure he's got a good read of the game. I'd love to see that a little bit.
I
That's a
got
good
a
idea.
notification on the score, and it's Caulfield addressing his slump. He says, "I expect more out of myself."
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to figure he does.
Of course, right?
Oh, he's got to take the ball.
Mhm.
He's scoring
all
tomorrow.
season, I find all season it felt like he can never miss the net. like
No,
all
and
season.
now,
And now every shot, if he gets a shot, sometimes he misses a lot now.
We've
I don't
seen
know if
this
he's
with
nervous.
Austin Matthews. He's a great goal scorer, supreme hands all season. Hits the playoffs and is nowhere in sight.
Mm-hmm.
I
No
understand, especially in Tampa, they're taking away his favorite spots, I guess, to score and stuff. But I feel like he's off a bit. I think it's something psychological. I think it's
I agree.
he didn't win the Morris Richard. I
agree.
don't know.
Well, it's tough with scores though too, right? Because if you're not if Josh Anderson isn't scoring goals and he's had some big goals in the playoffs, he's going to be out there running guys over though, right? I mean, he's an absolute train. If Caulfield's not scoring goals and he's got a great 200-foot game, and that's because of Marty St. Louis, I think he's really evolved as a player. He's a much more complete player, but he's not out there running guys over. I mean, he's hard on the forecheck,
right.
but he's not Veleno, he's not Bolduc. So if he's not scoring, he's going to stand out more because that's the thing that he does. Some guys you don't score, they go 20 games without scoring. How long did Bolduc go without scoring? He came in from St. Louis. People thought this guy's going to pot 25. He might get top line and power play, but he stayed relevant because he got out there, he skated, he hit, and he was an energy guy. You can do that when you're not your top guy, but Cole, it's hard to hide when you scored 50 plus. It's tough.
Yeah,
Their expectations,
100%.
because we're so used to his shot percentages, we're off the near the wall. It's crazy, So now that you have no more space, I'm sorry, but those shots are not going to get through anymore.
Yeah, they're
So,
he's their number one priority for the opposing team.
for sure.
Top Cole Caulfield,
Yeah.
second best scorer in the league this year.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It'll come. I think it'll come.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it'll come.
and so basically, do you think Montreal can do this?
They stay structured defensively, don't take stupid penalties, and speed. They can maintain their speed and control the game. Montreal should come out on top of the series. I'm not. There's a lot of overreactions after yesterday's game, especially you go 7 games with 1-goal games and you see a blowout at 4-1.
I wouldn't say it an over. I wouldn't call it an overreaction. Well, I get some people do overreact, but like
in the city, you don't call it an overreaction.
No, but some people overreact. Everybody overreacts. There's extremes on both sides to everything. But like, if we're gonna talk fair, and we're gonna call an ace okay, yeah, we can say all day, they're gonna have to adjust and whatever. But let's not forget something. Tage Thompson was invisible. He was -1. Alex Tuck was invisible. 2 guys were invisible, and you guys are talking about, we almost barely got by Buffalo. Those guys weren't even playing. What happens when those guys play? You guys are in trouble. So you need to step up your game a lot more and not be like, just pick up our speed. We're going to break in the thing.
But that's
these guys, if they wake
up,
man,
better defensively.
Yes, but you also got to make sure that Tage Thompson doesn't break through. This guy is a massive beast, quick hands, a quick shot. He's unstoppable. He's one of these like Nathan McKinnons that just does what he wants. He finds the right spots. He's like Cole Caulfield, just twice his size with the same talent. And he didn't play. And it's not because the Canadiens were containing him. I literally, he was playing sloppy sometimes. He made sloppy. Alex Tuck, another great player that we were expecting a lot. He did great against the Bruins, dominated them, nowhere in sight.
Maybe they're a little hurt. Maybe?
So yeah, we can talk about Dallin, but Dallin's not going to hold the team together, and he's not going to lead the way by himself. He needs these guys to step up. And so we haven't seen these guys. So game 2 is going to be interesting. I'm going to give the Canadiens. You guys lost the game in Buffalo. Whew, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's one game in Buffalo. It's not the end of the world. It could have been worse if it was 5-0 or 6-0 and Dobesh gets pulled. And now we would have been talking about, we got a hurt goalie who something's broken there. He's weak. We don't know where the future is. Guys, it was a 4-2 game.
4-2, yeah.
It was okay. It was okay, but just remember that their top players weren't playing, and Lyon is playing amazing. So yes, come into game 2 with a different strategy, but you can't just be like, we're going to take game 1 and we're going to tweak a few things. No, there were some key players that weren't even playing in game 1. You can't forget that.
It's true.
I'm curious to see what the mindset's going to be, though, right, about Dobesh, because it's the first time they've really seen him give up 4, right? And first of all, I was glad to see they didn't pull him, because I think there was a moment there that some might have thought that Fowler was going to get put in, and it was the absolute right move to leave him in.
Yeah.
But Sean, 2 of those 4 goals weren't his fault.
No, 100%.
I think
three
those
of
2
those four goals.
One of them, I don't know if it was traffic, and the third,
the first 2 weren't his fault. No, maybe the last one.
But the third and the fourth. I don't know if the third one he had a good angle. It looked like it was traffic.
Bottom line is they did not lose the game because of Jakub Dobesh.
No.
But to see how the team is going to react to, he's not going to stand on his head and only give up 1 a night like he'd been doing, 1 or 2. So now that means, instead of scoring 2 to win a game like we were doing against Tampa, we might need to score 4, 5, 6. That might be just enough to get those top guys woken up to go, okay, now we got to get this thing to the next level. We got to get it going because Buffalo's going to score, and maybe our goalie isn't perfect every single night like he was against Tampa.
And that can get Cole going too.
Yeah, so it'll be curious to see. I think, truthfully, maybe this is a hot take, I think the team that wins game 2 wins the series. I really think so. I really think so.
Listen, shots on net, 28 shots on net. Buffalo had 16 shots on net.
Yep.
That's like you're saying, there's a lot.
Tage didn't have shots on net. He usually comes in 10, 12 shots on net.
He
finished at
guys.
-1. He was nothing. He was sitting doing nothing.
Dangerous shots. In general, our stats are better.
Yeah.
There was some unlucky things that happened. Just put it that way. And
maybe tighten up the D. Maybe I don't know. Buffalo kind of exposed the defense on the Canadiens. You guys were talking about a lot of the north-south. I saw a lot of east-west.
Yep.
You just tighten up that box in front of the net, maybe give Dobesh a bit more support and not leave guys open.
Well, in game 1, you don't know your assignments either, too. Don't forget, guys, in that adjustment from series to series.
That's true. Good point.
Your assignments are totally different. You're so used to covering, Hagel and all these guys for 7 straight games, and all of a sudden now you got Thompson bearing down on you and everybody else. And their supporting cast played really, really well, too, on a night when those guys were not around. Yeah. So you're not going to get a 750 out of Dobesh every night. So that's gonna level off a little bit. They'll be okay.
Let's see what happens in game 2. Like I said, it was a feel game for both teams to feel each other's opponents. We'll see what happens.
It was a trial run for each one, a little litmus test to see what you could do. I honestly was so surprised that it wasn't as physical as like the first game with like Tampa or some like fights and
I thought it would have been
people at each other. Every whistle there was pushing and shoving.
It was just
like
game 1, Brian. Just game 1.
Well, there's no hate.
I'm saying
there's
Tampa.
There's not enough hate.
Not yet. There's not enough hate.
Not yet.
There's no blood in the water yet.
No, not yet.
All right. Before we move on,
Mhm.
Furio, you're going to win with a 0.6 to 0.75 winning percentage if you're a top NHL team. You're going to lose some. You're going to lose some games. Montreal will win games.
Agree.
All right, Furio. Well said. Any last words for game one?
Nope.
Gonna do something actually with like. Well, first of all, I wanted to build on the whole Marty kind of Yoda.
Yoda.
He's like this guy who's gonna give us these little sayings to help us. And I think he's gonna say the right things. He's been saying the right things. It's great.
I think so.
Anyways, yeah. Can you pull up a picture of Darlene, please? It'd be interesting to
I love
see
this part of podcasts, by the way, and you guys pull stuff up. I watch this at home, and I love this part. Right.
I love him as a player. He's a great player.
Great
What do
player.
you want?
Yeah. Okay. So.
Is there something
Alright.
He
specific?
got rocked twice last
Okay,
night.
can you?
huh?
Yeah, he did. Do me a favor, also. Like, I don't know. Pull up another page.
Okay, it's already you already won favor.
I know.
Now
I'm
another
sorry.
one.
No, it's not a favor here. This is
Do it.
Napoleon Dynamite, baby. Come on. Give me some
What are you
Napoleon.
doing?
Can you just do me that, please?
Right now, I can't unsee it.
Yeah, that's it. This is what I got from Hockey
it up.
Junkie, by the
What are
way. He was calling him Napoleon Dynamite.
He's so hilarious.
Yeah, he's so funny.
The actual main character, I was
Napoleon
thinking more of the
Darlene.
brother.
Yeah,
Man, Hockey Junkie's hilarious.
yeah, he's so good.
He came on
You watch him?
one night on the chat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But honestly, though, how good is
There you
Darlene,
go.
though? You don't even realize how good he is until you really watch him for a whole game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun to see him for a whole series because we'll see him sporadically, playing Habs all. But to see him 6-7 games, maybe, really key in on him and see how good he is. He does a lot of
He's
little
really
things well. Wow, he does look a lot like.
There you go. Put some glasses
That's
on him
not
and you're
cool,
good.
Steve.
I'm
Not
sorry,
cool.
guys. Sorry, guys.
No, I can only show one.
Oh my gosh, Darlene, what a jerk.
So, are you like the Theo Vaughn of this podcast? Is that
Theo
Uh,
happened? We lost.
that's all good. We just call him Napoleon from now on.
Napoleon Darlene.
Yeah, Napoleon Darlene.
Okay, so we got here. Where is it? Okay, we got Napoleon Dynamite,
It's so good.
and we got.
Great movie, by the way.
Great movie.
Oh shit! Wrong. Boys are with these side quests, Steve.
Sorry. Gets me excited.
I don't see it now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I can't say I see it. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Maybe it's the glasses.
No, I think you're thinking the brother.
The brother, yeah.
There you go. That's
All
it.
right. Yeah.
Bit of a stretch,
If you had
actually,
a
Steve.
mustache?
All right, let's move on.
Oh man.
I was gonna say something. Or I said it right. I think I said it right. All right, let's move on. Next, Calder finalists. How should we evaluate Demidov and Schaefer and Senek as Calder finalists? And does the reaction from some Canadian fans about Jacob Dobej being excluded hold any real weight? The Calder finalists, Demidov, Schaefer, and Senek reflect full season production as the award is designed to recognize. Dobej omission frustrated some Canadian fans, but his late season surge and playoff start didn't factor into the voting criteria. Does that frustration from Habs fans actually hold up when you look at the voting criteria, or is it just playoff recency bias?
Well, first of all, I think the three finalists that were named, I think, are well deserved.
I agree.
So, apart from the Dobeš thing, and I think the way they announced them, I think it's going to be that way. It's going to be Schaefer, Demidov, and Seneca. Demidov did finish top point producer, but
By a few points.
by a few points.
Yeah, by a
2
couple.
points.
I think it was 2.
2 points.
66, 64, something like
62
that.
and 60, I
Something like
think.
that. Yeah, there wasn't much separating them.
But what Schaefer did,
I think the
is-
minus is like the plus.
as a
minus.
defenseman, you cannot.
Schaefer?
You cannot.
No. Schaefer. You got to give it to him. That's He's in a league of his own on that one.
You like a lot of people merited it. Even Kapanen did well.
Kapanen. You always correct me.
Yeah, but they call him actually. I think
Pretty quick on that one. I think it's pronounced Lyon. I believe. It's,
Oh, Lyon.
I think he likes it. He likes Kapanen. That's what I heard. That's why.
That's like an official way, Kapanen. Okay.
I always usually call him Kapanen, but I think he likes Kapanen.
Tony sees him on the weekends.
I see him on the. we had a beer last week.
It's Kapanen.
Kapanen, Tony.
That's what Marco D'Amico says. I think the three guys that got named finalists are.
That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about Dobesh, no?
No, there's two questions. What do you think if these guys are deserved, and and also if Dobesh got excluded, if it merits anything? It's a two-part question.
Okay, but let's talk about what merits a Calder. Let's. I don't know if there's actually written definitions, but obviously it's a rookie. Is the most points? Is the most affects the team the most? The MVP, not an MVP, but lifts the team into
the player
another.
who produces the most points and is the most valuable to their team. So Demidov produced the most points, but without Schaefer, the Islanders wouldn't have been where they were. Yes, they didn't make the playoffs, but he was the most valuable player to their team, to this team. Especially for the defenseman, especially for the defenseman to put up those numbers, he almost even to Demidov. He's gonna win, and for fans to be upset because Dobesh had a great stretch run at the end. But they're basing their opinion on what he did in round one, and this is basically for the regular season. That it doesn't.
I remember before the playoffs started, you even brought it up about Dobesh being a possible Calder. Remember we did the whole thing of all the awards, and you brought it up. Dobesh probably
should be considered as a, but my finals
as a nominee.
As a nominee. But the way the F season ended, Seneca deserves it over Dobesh and over Kapanen.
I think we can all agree that Dobesh is the consensus number 4, right? I mean, because it's hard to argue either of these three guys.
Yes.
I mean, Demidov, points-wise, he's your top guy. I mean, he might have been nominated in the worst year ever because on so many other years, he wins haut la main. Easily, point total, production.
That's true.
He was overshadowed by some of the other guys on the team like Caulfield and Suzuki. He had a great season offensively with not a lot of time on ice, by the way, compared to some other guys. Schaefer, phenomenal season, deserves it. He's going to win. I think that's no question about it. And he also is helped by the fact that Hudson won. Right, I think that really helps because the defenseman who stands out in a lot of players like that with two forwards, it's hard to argue against the defenseman. You made the same argument for Hudson, so we're not going to be hypocrites and not say the same for him. And if you watch any Anaheim hockey, Beckett Seneca had a fantastic season. The kid's lights out. He's going to be so good for so many years. Dobesh, I mean, you look at his numbers. I pulled them up before we got here. If you look at Dustin Wolf last year, that's the comparison, right? Mm-hmm. They're almost identical numbers. Wolf played more. I think the only way that Dobesh could have made his way into this is if he wouldn't have had the yo-yo stuff with Montembeault. I would have played maybe an extra 8 or 10 games, and had he won those 10 games, he's having a 40-win season, and he's got a GAA probably around 2 and a bit, something like that. Yeah. Hard to argue that he's not in there, but who do you take off this list? He still might end up number 4, despite having incredible Calder-worthy numbers. You got 2 great rookies, 3 if you add Kapanen. It's really, you feel for Dobesh because he had a great year, but he's not going to get on this list any day of the week, as good as he was.
I think even with those extra games, if they didn't try to push Montembeault, I think he still would have been number 4 on the list behind these 3.
Well, look at how they performed. It's hard to argue that. These are 3 really deserving guys to be on this, and I think Schaefer wins it, hands down. But it's hard to argue the other 2.
That's why I find the complaints from fans holds no weight to the argument,
Oh, fans are emotional.
I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not a majority of fans. I'm sure there's just
but there was a big. As soon as it came out, there was a big rant about it. I go, come on,
Yeah, someone mentioned it in one of our comments in one of our videos. Like, where's Dobesh? Where's Dobesh? When they announced the caller, so there's people that believe it.
Well, and Mike says in the chat too that it's the goalies don't play as many games as the skaters in front of them, and I think that's part of the
100%.
disadvantage of a goalie trying to be nominated because a Schaefer is having an impact every single night for 25, 27 minutes a game. Dobich is playing.
There's 24 minutes. Yeah,
so
40,
and goalies
minutes,
nowadays aren't playing more than 50% of the season anyway.
Exactly.
So you don't get those 80% Marc-Andre Fleury's that can mark themselves apart from the rest.
The
So goalies don't even.
absolutely.
So going back to what you're saying, fourth at best.
Yeah.
Even if you are.
And how great is that, though? I mean, we're saying, you talk about fourth like it's a horrible.
No, but
that's
seriously,
amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
So we're talking about top five. We're talking about Demidov. We're talking about Dobich, and then we're talking about Kapanen too. Kapanen was there. He was number 5 for most of the season.
True.
It was up and down. I never thought he was going to make the list. I just was so surprised that he was having such a remarkable year. But I said he's going to have some votes. I knew Dobich was going to have some votes, but I never thought they were going to make final 3. Like if you go back to a couple of weeks ago when we spoke about it, I was surprised.
Kapanen finished 6th. He was 5 most of the season. That's amazing.
These guys all got votes, but the finalists got the most votes out of the people who voted, right?
No, I'm just saying it's a good sign when 3 rookies are in the top 5.
Yeah,
for
they belong to us.
That's a good.
It's very good.
Fantastic.
The only irony is that he's not even playing in this Buffalo series so far, and he's been seeing the bench a little bit more. So not yet.
Not
but
yet.
Do you think he comes back in the next?
No, it's because when they called his name, they didn't know they were calling him.
I didn't know. He said, "I didn't know it was me." Yeah, sorry.
What do they call it? My name's Kapanen. Sorry.
That's the way you pronounce it, I guess.
But in all reality, in order to win a Calder Trophy as a goalie, it's either you had a really crappy year for the regular rookies, right? Or
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, there are week classes. It helps to be in a week class.
It can have you have a week class.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you were lights out. Legit, let's say if you actually played 30 to 40 games in the season, and you really, like, let's say you 5 shutouts.
And your team goes to the playoffs.
Yeah, and you really helped your team to get to the next level. That's a different story, So
who's the last goalie to win the Calder?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Ken Dryden.
I saw that. It was
in the AHL, Jordan Binnington.
No, not in the AHL. In the NHL.
But
it wasn't that. It was pretty recent in the 2000s, early 2000s.
I can't remember this.
I think we checked it last time.
Another thing we didn't think of is imagine Dobich had the new goalie coach, like starting from the beginning.
Well, that's when things changed.
There was a big split. There was a big change when they changed the goalie.
Steve Mason.
Coach, sorry.
Steve Mason.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
2008, 2009, Columbus Blue Jackets. Steve Mason.
Totally forgot about that. Yeah.
He won with a 33-20-7 record, 228 GA and 916 save percentage and shutouts.
Curious to see who was the
2008, 2009 Columbus Blue Jackets. That was Rick. No.
That was the Nash generation, wasn't it?
That was...
What year did you say?
2008, 2009.
Rick Nash? Yeah.
Rick Nash was there.
That was Rick Nash days.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He had Mason behind him.
Yeah, okay.
Trying to place...
rookie scoring leaders. So it was Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown. Sorry, Bobby Ryan. James Neal. Steve Stamkos was in...
That's your prerogative.
Scoring leaders and Calder winners are 2 different things.
No, but I just wanted to know
okay.
like who were the top performers that year as
in 2003. You know what?
I should remember how good prime Bobby Ryan was
Andrew
for that.
Raycroft.
Andrew Raycroft.
Yeah.
With the Bruins, Andrew Raycroft won the Calder in 2003.
There you go.
Nabokov, Brodeur, Belfour.
It also helps when the goalie is more of the star on the team. And Dobich was surrounded by some impressive rookies, some amazing individual milestone, like benchmark years for a lot of guys for the Habs as well. So even despite how fantastic of a year he had, it didn't even stand out. Although the flip side is if he didn't play the way that he did down the stretch, I don't think the Canadiens ended up in the position that they're in, and getting into the playoffs. He solidified things because of Marciano. I think that was a huge component too. But, I mean, just good for him. It's a good problem to have because now I think everybody who thought Fowler was the default number 1 going forward. I'm personally not even sure that that's true anymore.
Sean, he's established as a legitimate future starting goaltender
there is no question
in the NHL,
about it.
whether he's with the Habs or not. I think every team's going to look at him. He's a starting
100%.
goaltender.
And he's given the Canadiens flexibility
Absolutely.
and choices to do what they might need to do.
Beautiful problem.
Yeah.
Fantastic problem to have.
It's a good... You can have a good tandem, and at the end, you get flexibility if you need to trade one of them. you can trade. You know?
And you got 2 more games next year, too, so that's a little bit more load. And you got Fowler playing maybe, 30, 35 games next season, maybe more. You never know.
Slowly. That's it.
Yeah, imagine Edmonton had this problem. Imagine Pittsburgh had
Edmonton
this
would be
problem.
like-
Edmonton
You know,
would-
like
Edmonton wishes they had this problem. Fuck.
they don't have these problems. We
Freaking
do
Edmonton.
though. That's great.
Vancouver's gonna wish anybody was throwing them a bone right about now because man, they're getting screwed left and right.
We'll
Look,
talk
it's-
about that.
Well, I know. I know.
Yeah, that's
All right.
crazy.
So the consensus is, as amazing Dobish was, it makes sense that he didn't make the finals. Right?
Yeah,
It's-
and I think
Yeah.
Schaefer
Yeah.
is going to be the winner on that one for sure, by far.
You think 100%?
Schaefer,
Schaefer,
yeah, 100%.
Everyone says Schaefer.
Oh yeah,
But who has
100.
the better career at the end of it all? Is it Schaefer or is it Demidov?
I'd say
I think the
Demidov.
guy who's going to stand out the most at the end of his career is going to be Demidov.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I think so too.
Don't forget, he has nobody on his line
He's
right
going to
now.
develop a
Well,
lot.
that's the thing. Give him somebody to play with. And with all due respect to Alex Newhook, who I love, shout out to Newfoundland. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's not Newhook that's going to take him to the next level. That's
No.
why I'd like to see him get some time with Nick, even in these playoffs, just to see what they could do and shake it up. But just wait till he gets a 2C.
Wait till he gets Crosby. I mean,
97, guys. Nasta 97.
Yeah, sure. Can I smell your water, Steve?
Guys, how funny is it? I brought this up a while ago, and then after the Oilers left, there's all this. It's all rumors.
Sure,
Since
yeah.
fans, everybody's talking about how it would be a good
It's a
fit for Montreal. You see?
you see,
It was all bullshit.
Yeah, we'd have to give away every
Go,
clue.
You don't have to give up
kinda gonna
everything.
front that. What do you
Montreal's not gonna do a stupid trade, but if it makes sense for them, you
It makes
do
sense for them, but he's not leaving. He's never going to leave Pittsburgh.
No, not
Never.
Crosby.
I thought you were talking about
McDavid.
Oh, McDavid. I thought you were talking about Crosby.
No.
Oh, McDavid's going to leave 100%.
97.
Start
Gotcha.
packing the bags.
He's gone. Yeah.
Like after they lost the Oilers, there was talk because he would fit well, but
Oh, he'd fit great.
But
And the
what's the
Canadiens are one of the
cost?
only teams that has the latitude to get a guy like McDavid. But even that, though, what do you have to give up for a guy like Connor? And he's
We've
not
done
gonna,
this. We've done this, and it's terrible.
Everybody,
We're not
every
doing
name
it.
we mentioned tonight, we'd have to give him.
We asked ChatGPT, and it costs like half the Canadians. We've done this. We're not doing it again. Let's move across. Let's go. Next topic, please.
Can we agree
Plus
that
a
he's,
case of beer, plus a case of Molson.
That's crazy.
but can we agree that he's not making it to free agency? Like it's not
Yeah.
going to happen, right?
Why would they
no,
lose
he's not
him?
gonna
He
he's not
can't.
gonna screw over the
Can't.
Oilers.
Yeah, no.
he's gonna get traded if he wants.
I think, he's going to get traded.
I think so.
they're gonna trade him out by all respects because
they have to get something back.
I think
for him.
that's been for him too important as well. That if he does have to go and he makes the choice to go, that he's going to leave him,
Yeah.
the ability to
You
get
can't
some
be
assets in
selfish and
return.
hold on to him
Yeah.
and do that.
Yeah.
You got to be like, let him go.
It's time for a change.
It's sad because they made a lot of bad moves. They had no goalie,
That whole Edmonton,
It's
the
always been
last
the same
15
story.
years was
It's
just
the
a
same
fucking
story.
disaster.
No
Baffling.
goalies, no this, no.
they pick all these superstars and they did
you
nothing.
can't win
with
your
it.
games 8-7 all the time, right?
No.
Anyways,
All right, let's move on. If you're digging what we're doing, guys, drop us a line in the comments in the chat. If you're watching us live, we live. We're live.
don't
Thursday at
tell him that,
8:30
Brian.
So we are last night. We are live every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. And hey, don't keep it to yourself. Tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your grandma to tune in. All right, next topic is our final topic. End it with a bang. Did Toronto's lottery win actually save the organization, or will they repeat the first round exit cycle without major roster changes? The lottery pick is meaningless unless Toronto moves a major piece of the old core to make room for the new era. So here's the real debate. Is this lottery pick the turning point, or is just window dressing on the same broken structure? Who wants to take it away?
Going into the what were the odds for Toronto? 8%?
8.5%.
8.5%? They were fifth on the list, or sixth?
it's funny.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe when
I'm going to pull it up.
I couldn't
It
believe
gets me angry when I hear this. I
feel
get
so
me
bad
very
for
angry.
Vancouver.
You see, it's your whole posture
I look
changed.
at Vancouver with 18%, who played like
And
minor
San-
hockey, and they're just hoping for that break
Yeah.
And
of
San
getting
Jose's-
the 1 year that Gavin's up there,
Yep.
and Vancouver's like,
No, this is not the right.
we didn't
year.
win it. Who did we lose it to? Toronto.
Yeah, this really upsets you, I can tell.
Oh.
Yes. Clenching his teeth.
Oh man, like do we need
it's
to
ironic
waste more
that they
time?
wanted. They had this horrible press conference. They looked like absolute amateurs. Then the next day, they're saying that they have to speak to Austin Matthews
Yeah.
to see what. And then a couple of hours later, they win the lottery. It's like it almost looked fixed, right? Obviously, it's not fixed.
Then they go the GM. It's Sundin coming in as senior executive. Then you got the
senior
GM,
advisor.
senior advisor,
to
and then what's
the-
his name? GM,
Yeah.
old Phoenix guy who ran out of Phoenix because he was too much of a
Cheka.
pussy. He left while he was still on contract to secretly go get a job somewhere else where he got fined and tapped on the
Well,
hands.
no, he
and-
was talking to teams.
Yeah, he was
without
talking to
permission.
teams without permission. A fucking joke. And now he's leading the charge with Gavin first. Why?
I mean, that's if
Why
they take
Toronto?
him, but I mean, I think can we all agree that they're going to take him, right? There's too much pressure not to
That's what
take
I
him,
would
even
assume.
though he's not.
I'm not convinced.
You're not convinced, eh?
What?
You know why? Because Toronto doesn't want to rebuild.
See, and that is the rub, Tony.
Yes.
See, anybody else, number one, I don't get the shake it thing, right? Because that's like you're giving the keys, to the Rolls Royce. This is one of the most, important franchises in the NHL, and you're giving him to Cheka, and now you're giving him the ability and his scouting team and the people that he's supposed to trust, the chance to go and get a guy like McKenna. Do you trust that leadership group with the choice of a guy, or do they deal that pick? That's the thing that keeps coming to me, because if they're not going to rebuild, because I don't think they have that ability to rebuild, I don't think they'll give themselves the ability to rebuild. Will they trade it to try to keep putting a Band-Aid on the current group? Because if they wanted to rebuild, this would be easy. You pick McKenna, you deal Nylander, you maybe try to move Matthews, and you start building up, and you got a 3 to 5 year plan, hopefully with people who know what they're doing. But I just don't see this in that DNA in Toronto, because they've got such a horrible cultural problem. But honestly, I hope they pull it off. And I know that's not popular to say, but hot take is I hope Toronto finds a way to do it, because the NHL is a better league when that team is doing well. We need that fan base. We need that franchise to do well. I hope they figure it out, because they're a mess right now. And I'm dying to see what they do with this pick.
So, hypothetically speaking, they pick him, right?
Mm-hmm.
What, they're going to get another Mitch Marner type player to play with Matthews, where they have already a hole on defense. They have no goaltending. They doesn't fix their problems. And then with Matthews, if Matthews decides to leave after, because he's got 2 more years, right?
He doesn't want to be there anymore.
No. So they need an answer from him before July 1st. Before not even before July 1st, before the draft, right? So, because they need to know where he's at. And if he's half, trade him, get rid of him, and do what you need to do. I don't think picking him is going to solve your problems. I say trade the pick, trade down, get assets. Even if you have to trade Nylander, they have to do some sort of restructuring.
Or pick him and you keep him and you build around him. But I don't think it's with the current leadership group that's there.
Can't.
No.
You just
you
can't.
can't build because you don't have picks. You don't have anything.
They have no assets.
You know, ironic. You know who could have got Gavin this year? Would have been surprising. The Boston Bruins should have got Gavin McKenna this year. Do you know why? Because last year the Boston Bruins made a trade to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Brandon Carlo went over for exchange. Fraser Mitten, 4th round 2005 pick and a 1st round 2006 pick, conditional that the Leafs make it as a top 5 team. Because they didn't make it in the top 5, the Bruins didn't get.
Shit.
Incredible.
That's crazy.
These
How close we
these
came
conditional picks, man.
from that. And I was like, because I remembering, I was like, the Leafs. And I'm like, and I remember this is a year and a half ago before Carlo left. I'm like, where are the Leafs going to be in a year and a half? They're going to be a top 5 team. But we didn't know with Marner and you got Nylander and Matthews. Okay, they missed out on the playoffs, but we're like, well, next season they're going to pick it up.
Because on
They're gonna
paper, it
do
makes sense for that team.
On paper, the team was going up.
Look, if you ask me, they got Tavares. For me, Tavares is the saving grace on that team. You got a pro, a guy who knows what he's doing. If I'm bringing in a guy eventually, and you're going to be at the very tail end of Tavares' career, and you got a guy like McKenna coming up, clear out the guys that you know are a cultural problem in that organization, and let McKenna come up with some fresh blood, a guy like Tavares leading the team, let him take the captaincy, and start over. You're not starting over from scratch,
Yeah,
not
but
with Tavares and not with a guy like McKenna, but start over a little bit.
He's not like a guy like McKenna. He's not going. Toronto, if they pick him, they're going to want to throw him to the wolves right away. I don't think he's going to be ready to jump into the NHL right away. Who knows if he wants to go back to college next year, right?
It's more and more plausible for a lot of these guys.
I don't expect him to do what Celebrini did and just take the ball. He's not going to be a McDavid. Like I don't see him jumping in next year if he gets picked by the Leafs and playing on that top line.
Well, he's also not a Celebrini, though.
Yeah,
Like, let's
exactly.
be real about things. He's a great talent, but he's not a generational talent. And
No.
Celebrini's more, I would argue, more well-surrounded than a McKenna who would come up.
And there's a chance he might not even get picked first.
And he's
you
going to
know?
be even better surrounded because San Jose got second pick.
San Jose is going to be
They
a
are
real
gonna be
problem.
I know.
dangerous.
Like, do they
In
need more
3
picks?
years? I'm like, they got second pick again. Just I don't
Yeah.
know if they can handle
They might
the
trade.
salaries.
They might
but
trade down.
If they can handle the salaries, I don't know how they're gonna deal with those contract signings soon. But man, they're gonna have a
Now, San Jose
deadly team.
and Anaheim, too. Those two teams are going to be really
They are,
lethal
yeah.
for the next
And,
decade. And
in the
maybe
West,
more if they play it right, you know?
yeah.
Well, they might revive the West because I remember the West was here and the East was down. Maybe they'll
You
revive
have
it because the West
Minnesota,
is
you have
terrible now.
Colorado, you have Vegas. The West is not dead. Just that.
No,
But
no,
it's
but
not,
San
no,
Jose,
but what
the
Brian is
Ducks,
saying,
the
back
Ducks used to-
then, back in the day when San Jose was this top team and Joe was putting in 126 points a season, they were the Western Conference was
It
by
was
far the
Korea
strongest.
Solane generation,
Yeah,
like all
yeah.
this. I mean, it was amazing back
That's
then,
true.
right? But now you're seeing
But even
teams
the
like
Ducks
Yep.
with
Ducks, that's
Getzlaff
right.
and
Getzlaff
Perry
and,
those days.
Perry.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
No, it's
They were
going to be
top
fun to
teams,
see.
man.
It's going to be,
Yeah.
and there's a bit of a shift in the power balance in the West. You know, Dallas is always supposed to do well, but you could see Dallas might be on a little bit of the fringe. I don't
Yeah.
think they maybe keep everybody in this offseason. But you still got Colorado who's dominating, and there's a few teams. But San Jose is going to be a
San Jose.
real legit problem.
They're going to be a problem in the
for a
West.
long time. I mean, honestly, a Montreal San Jose final in the next 5 years. I mean, I'd bet
it's realistic.
I don't know what I'd bet on it, but I'd bet something.
Yeah.
Speaking of bets, how's your bet going?
My bet?
Yeah.
Well, as long as the Canadians stay in.
What's
I'm
the
so-
bet? What's the bet?
I bet before the playoffs started, I bet on
Yeah.
the Canadians winning the Stanley Cup.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
And my odds were 31-1.
Okay.
Which was very interesting because when I had a friend telling me basically, oh, you should check in the Canadians, and sometimes because he knows I bet, but I never bet on the Canadians because this is not something I do. But it just didn't make sense back in the day where it was like I was seeing Ottawa winning the Stanley Cup. It was 13-1, Dallas 17-1, and the Canadians were 31-1 So
That's a good
and it
bet
was
to
like,
make.
Yeah.
it's a good bet you could make, and I was like, yeah. So I made a pretty hefty bet.
So dinner's on Pat at the end of the postseason.
Dinner is on me. I promise you, if we win, dinner is on me.
Okay.
I promise
McDonald's
that.
we go.
Right.
I want to touch back to what Sean said. He said something about the rebuilding or fixing the culture or getting rid of people. I just want to say that I think the culture starts, or the bad culture, what's riding the culture, is the top. Okay,
100%.
I was watching this video about who's that guy that did the Pelly? What's his name? Pelly.
Pelly.
Ever since he started taking over or started making decisions for the Toronto Maple Leafs,
He doesn't make decisions. He just.
ever since he came in, Toronto took away all kinds of things. They took away like Father's Day trips. They used to the dads and the players. They do go on trips and the staff and all that. They took away discounts for tickets for family members. They took that away.
That was the previous management. It wasn't Pelly. Pelly just runs Maple
I
Leaf
just
Sports.
saw
and
the video talking about Pelly. I just saw him because he used to be the what he did golfing or something. He was the CEO of, not CEO of golf, but he was in charge of PGA Tour or something. No, so he went with that. Ever since he came to Toronto, it was all about shredding. It was all about money, shredding.
Pick the freaking golf in that case, buddy.
Cutting the foot.
Well, I mean, if anybody's used to golf, right? It seems like a perfect fit.
Exactly.
But how do you feel as a team, especially the richest team, one of the most popular teams, and all of a sudden they're saying, "Oh, you can only get any discounts to bring your dad to a game or to bring family members. You can't buy you have to buy your a jersey for your brother at full price." Like, what does that tell? How do you feel about a team when they treat you like they treat you like anybody else? They don't even treat you anything special. They're like just a regular client or something like that. That, in a way, does not bring a team together. If anything, does not bring a team together. You have this animosity against people above you, right? The people that pay
Management and
it is a
management,
business, but you can
administration,
it's clear he's running it like a business. Look at who he hired. It doesn't make sense. This is why this is not really going to change much because they're gonna drop the ball and they're gonna be in the same hole they were always in, because they got a yes man. For me, the general manager was a yes man. This is what I need as a general manager. We don't want to rebuild. If you're willing to do that, the job is yours. This is why I think they got who they got, and they got Sandin, who has no experience to oversee his decisions.
That's a PR move. Okay, Sundin is the classic lipstick on a pig. Like we get the popular guy, the fans love.
Okay, I'll give you that.
The fans love him.
They love
exactly.
him. He's gonna be. I mean, he's just a figurehead for the organization.
Face,
you know, and he'll be out there. He's popular. He'll rebuild some of the confidence that the fans have. And especially considering the hiring of Cheka, which went over like a load of bricks for a lot of people in Toronto.
100%.
Sundin helps a little bit to attenuate some of that issue that they have, but it's not going to fix it. Sundin's not going to make any real decisions. But I'm curious to see how all the other teams in the league are going to start to shift their management style. I don't think the Toronto management structure is the right one, but a lot of teams are going to look to a club like the Canadiens, right? Every time a team wins the cup, what happens? The next year, they had big defense. Okay, we're all getting big defense. They're going to look at the Canadiens management group and try to
Copycat
lead
league.
like that and copycat. And you can tell that Canadiens management, they're all on the same page. They're all doing it the same way from top to bottom, from Molson down to St. Louis and beyond. And the culture is one culture. Toronto, they're running like business, and I don't until they get rid of some guys in there. It's not.
And I don't
gonna
think that works well. I don't think that running your team like a business, solely like a business.
The problem is Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment brings so much money to the league.
Yep.
They can't afford to have a losing product on the ice because they have so much connection to broadcasting revenue and league revenue. This is why they don't want to rebuild. The smart thing is for them to rebuild, take the hit, but they won't because it's too much money lost out of their pocket.
Yeah,
You
but
guys
Tony, the irony of this is that they don't want to lose because they need to continue to make the money they make. But they have a team on the ice that doesn't hate losing enough. And this is the thing that baffles me about Toronto. They don't hate losing enough.
Yeah.
And until that changes, until they get guys in that locker room that hate to lose, it's not going to change. McKenna, it's not going to change. And I don't want to keep pointing at Matthews, but I mean,
Speaking of Matthews, when he got hurt, did you feel the love? Did you feel
zero
the love in
on
that
the
team?
ice. Yeah, but that
When he
just
got hurt?
shows. That just shows
No one
the team
even
that the
went to
leagues
go
are.
check.
No,
I understand not fighting. I understand not fighting. You're not a
Nobody stood
fighter,
up for him.
but not even
Yep.
checking up on him.
Yep.
Not even going down. Are you okay?
It
They
tells
just
a lot.
skated away.
That tells a lot about a team.
Anyways, did you guys see this the press conference when they the first with Matt Sundin and
this was
Steve Simmons, man, it was harsh. Somebody that comes from media, before you play it, okay? Do you think he was out of line to have asked the question the way he did?
Look, I don't know.
let's say that. Let's talk about that after we watch the video. You know the guy? You know?
No, I don't. I was going to say I don't know
in the
Steve.
biz.
I don't know Steve personally, but this took some stones to ask this question.
Yeah, big time.
Let's do this. I found this hilarious.
Cringy. Does
It's
it play? It's loading.
Link.
On mute.
Is it? Nobody's talking.
No, it's not
Nobody's
showing up
moving.
when I switch it.
Oh, there you go.
I've been in contact with about 20 people who work in the National Hockey League, many of whom are prominent names that we would all know. And of the 20 people I spoke to, one was supportive of John's hiring, and the other 19 thought it was a sham, to be perfectly honest. Words were used like con artist, liar, salesman. How did you come to a different conclusion that I was able to come to in a very short time?
I must have talked to different people.
Wow.
That's it? Because I'm telling you, the hockey world today is astounded by this announcement.
Okay.
And your response to that?
Is we've conducted due diligence, and it was deep due diligence. It was a thorough process, and I'm quite happy with where we've landed.
Now let me ask you: do you believe they did due diligence? Do you believe that?
I have been in contact with about 20.
He's probably like, who are those 19 people again?
They did do their due diligence, but they got their yes man. In my opinion, they got their yes man. No?
I mean,
Cringy.
look.
Is that what you think that what it is? Yes, man.
Well,
or?
before they hired, they were saying they were like asking a lot of experts in the NHL. A lot of them were saying the right thing to do is for them to rebuild. But you heard his press conference a month ago. He's not. His
Yeah, he
goal is
doesn't-
not. He's got a lot of key assets that doesn't need to be. What key assets does he
He
have?
got nothing.
He has nothing.
So you're telling me in interviews, this
He
guy
has
probably
knives,
was like,
that's
so what do you
it.
think we should do? We should rebuild. Okay, that's good. We'll see you. We'll call you. And he's just waiting for the guy that says we should keep exactly what
I
we're
think
doing,
that's what-
exactly the same.
Yeah, but you know what baffles me the most about this is that they rushed this decision. There was
I think so.
There was no rush, and when you rush
agree.
to hire a guy, it's usually because you're afraid to lose him to somebody else,
Yeah.
right? We saw this at the end of the season when Patrick Roy got fired. They wanted to bring in a new guy. They thought they were going to lose him, not have the opportunity. So you do that. It hurts. Sometimes you got guys that get fired when they shouldn't be fired. Maybe nobody was lining up to hire Cheka. So to your point, why would they rush this? When everybody who's in that sphere of hockey thinks this is a weird choice.
They needed to have somebody before the draft, right?
I mean, even at that though, there
But
was
you make a good
probably.
point.
I mean, there's probably a list the length of my arm that they could have dug into the into the hockey space and said, okay, this guy, and they landed on him. Now, credit to him. That was a decent response PR wise. You know, they did their due diligence and we're confident in our choice. I mean, you have to put that face in a press conference like that. These are tough moments.
I didn't feel it.
Well, I don't think they feel
it's
it.
confident.
To be honest with you.
The words were said, but I don't think.
I mean, look. I mean, the results are going to speak for themselves, and it won't surprise me if this is a different group. You know, a year from now, maybe less than a year from now. But they've made repeatedly some questionable decisions at the management level, and this is another chapter in that story. But that's a tough environment to ask. I mean, a credit to Steve for asking the question. You know, I've been in a lot of these. You know, I covered the Canadiens for a lot of years, and it's a tough room to ask questions in. I don't know who he spoke to, but it took some real confidence to ask that in that room, and you could feel the malaise.
Is there any backlash? Like can
No.
you get banned from being in press conferences and stuff like that?
Well,
from-
I mean, listen, there's a certain level of decorum that you need to have, and every room does it differently. I mean, you go to the Bell Center, and prior to that, the other building, whoever was running those and still runs them, and Chantal's running those now. There's a certain way to be in there, and you have to be. But it's okay to ask tough questions. And a guy like Marty answers tough questions. I was covering the team back in the Michel Therrien days. You know,
tough.
you swallowed 3 times before you'd ask your tough question because you didn't know what you'd get back. It was tough. But Michel was great. He was great. And he'd give you an honest answer, as honest as an answer is going to get. But there's a certain way to conduct yourself. That was, look, for all intents and purposes, kind of a lousy, kind of a gotcha question. But it was a fair question, I suppose. The one thing I think I know about Steve from what he's done in his career is he doesn't care. So, if he gets looks, if he feels that the others didn't like the question, he was going to ask it anyway, most likely. So, he conducted his own research.
she never witnessed a situation like a question like that, and you upset the management. They're like, don't ever let this guy back. And does it ever happen? Don't ever
Not
let
with
this
him.
guy back.
No. I mean,
I'm just saying. I'm saying in general, like from your experience, have you ever seen anybody been banned for a bit or suspended, like just because they pissed off the wrong people?
No, not personally.
No?
I mean, look, it's happened. It happens really, really infrequently. I mean, you have to do something pretty egregious to be thrown out and not be welcomed back in. But coaches, and every coach is different, but coaches and managers like certain guys and
they hate
journalists,
others.
and they don't like other journalists more than others. I mean, look, I used to cover
Ask
Pittsburgh.
Torts.
Yeah, well, Torts
has
was
his
tough.
favorites.
I covered Torts a lot, and Torts is a really
yeah.
tough scrum, and if he doesn't like you, he'll tell you to your face. So it makes him entertaining, but some guys are really tough, and
He
it
didn't
depends
cross
if
the
you're
line. It was just like
No.
like it was like whoa, it was like he was right there, right?
It's like it's
Well,
a really
you're asking
Fine
such a
line.
tough question.
Yeah.
man.
but if I'm going to give him any credit, it's maybe what a lot of people were thinking. I mean, it was a sideways way of saying everybody doesn't get this, including some
Yeah.
people
And
in
someone
your
needs to say-
space. What do you make of that? It doesn't make sense. Justify it. And they said the right thing. They pulled the PR line out and they said, look, we believe in our guy and that's going to be it. But, if they lose, I mean, this clip is going to live forever on every Sports Center top 10.
Sean, you made one good point before. You
Just
said
one?
no, you're not.
I've been counting. It's just one shot, and even that is man.
You made one of your good points.
Brian, could you pull up the one good thing I said?
They didn't need to rush it because who is hiring this guy? You're right. So it goes back to it. Like they really did get their yes man. I believe.
There was no reason to rush this.
No, there was no reason at all to rush this.
But it also tells you, I think, that there is no intention to rebuild. Because if there was, I think they would have torn the whole thing down to the studs, and they would have started with a different kind of group, maybe somebody new. But they keep trying to patch. It's patch and patch and patch, and it's like a period of the Marc Bergevin era where the roof kept leaking, and instead of fixing the damn roof, they just kept moving the buckets around.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't make any sense. You go, just fix the roof.
Yeah.
And no, we're just going to move buckets around.
This is why I'm not convinced that they're going to make that first pick. I don't know what they're going to do, but there's a lot of moving parts that need to be answered.
But if they don't pick him, or like, what's their strategy?
What good is it going to do picking him if they're not rebuilding?
Well, he's a great rebuild option.
Yeah, well,
He's not going to be. Don't expect him to insert him into the lineup and he's going to be your savior. They're going to be in the same hole they were before. So they need answers from Matthews. See where he's at before they can decide what they're actually going to do with that pick.
pick him and trade him. I don't know.
They
Fucking
could trade-
Lindros did it. I don't know.
No, it would be better to trade the pick and get assets and rebuild, or kind of try to fix the team, especially if you're going to keep Matthews and Nylander there. Get some defense. You have no defense. Get a goalie. Get some more depth. Get another top six forward to play on the line with Matthews. What are you going to do with McKenna? Put him on a line with Matthews the first year. What is he going to do? He's going to do nothing.
But do you feel like the Toronto fans are ready for a rebuild? And I ask that just, as a Habs fan, right? Because forever we got sold the idea Canadiens fans are never going to accept a rebuild. And then finally the right management group comes in and goes, look, we're going to try to do this right. And they brought in guys that I think people believed could do it right. And lo and behold, look where we are, right? I mean, we might be setting up for a decade worth of success, maybe a couple of cups along the way. I don't know if the Toronto fan base is ready for that, but the only way to play the long game is to ditch these guys, maybe trade that pick or build around them, but you got to restock the cupboards. The cupboards are bare in Toronto.
They're empty.
There's nothing.
Yeah,
Empty.
the worst.
Really, they have no
prospects.
prospects on the chain.
Oh, they've traded
they've-
everything away.
They tried to
Wow.
stay relevant every year. I think Toronto fans, and a lot of them, are ready to take that step. It's more the management. I mean, Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. They don't want.
I think they're ready now because of this number one pick.
Yeah.
Had that not happened, I think they still probably go into this going, look, we still got
have
Matthews,
leverage.
we still got Nylander, and we can make some moves. And some guys will probably still want to sign with us because we have those guys. I'm going to play with Matthews. My stats look good. I'll be fine. But now that they got the pick, I think Toronto fans might be more willing, might be more ready to rebuild because they've got a guy that they can rebuild around. It's the model right now.
I would say, like, the Maple Leafs have, especially the fans, they have such a sour taste in their mouth. They had such an opportunity in the past 10 years that they could have won so many times, as a matter of fact. But now here they are. Oh my gosh! Here's what are we gonna do now? We're gonna start over, and like it must be tough on them, to get this roller coaster all over again because they've been, 1967. It's been all over the freaking, in the media, all over the place. They must be really super frustrated. But my question is what happens next, type of thing. So what if they do choose to go ahead and not rebuild? And let's say in January, they're in 10th place, What's going to happen then? What, they going to fire everybody again?
Well, they'll tank again, and they'll get a high draft pick, and then hopefully after a couple, 2-3 years of finishing bottom 5, maybe you end up with a few prospects, and you start to build something like Anaheim and San Jose, and the Canadiens have done a few times, but it looks like Toronto's going more the Edmonton model than the San Jose model, and that's what I think worries fans, where you have all these number one picks, and you end up with the Yakupovs and the Nugent Hopkins and all these guys. And still, 15 years later, you go, we've got nothing to show for this. And we've got the best player in the world, maybe the two best players in the league, and we have nothing to show for it. That's where Toronto looks like they're lining up. It's too bad. It really is too bad. I mean, not that bad.
Well,
It's devastating.
It all comes down to management at the end. They're badly run team, man. Sorry.
It's too bad for the rivalry, for the Habs, Leafs rivalry. That's where I wish they were a more competitive team because that makes it fun for everybody involved. But I think they're a few years away from that. I'll be surprised if they make this a good offseason.
Yeah, that's it for tonight, boys. John, thank you very much.
Hey guys, thanks for
Thank you,
having me.
Sean.
Really, you guys do a
you're
great job.
amazing,
Super
and,
Quick
fun
question
podcast.
before we log off.
Oh, no.
They announced the Selke finalists.
Yes,
You think Suzuki's going to take her?
Slam
You think
dunk.
or
slam dunk.
Cirelli?
Slam dunk for Suzuki.
Suzuki.
I
He's
agree
the
too.
next Patrice Bergeron.
Yep.
And
I agree too.
And I think
Don't
say
You're
that's
not
the
fat.
bet.
You got another one.
With offensive upside.
I need to see a Stanley Cup ring.
honestly, I think that
Bergeron got the jewels. I don't know about Nick, but
there's an argument. I agree.
but,
Suzuki's gonna win.
in fair game. Yes, Suzuki is on par to he's on track.
He
to
does
become
everything so
the
well.
next. He's so great on that.
He's a good
two-way
leader.
game.
He's
The
a
only reason I
gentleman.
asked was because I think Suzuki's going to take it.
Mhm.
Cirelli is by far the best defensive forward in the league. You know, that's why. But the trophy is for the best defensive forward who's great offensive, brings offensive numbers, right?
But that evolved though, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know when exactly that changed in like the collective mindset that it was the best defensive forward, but also who gets the most points. That's not the definition of the trophy.
No.
It's the
Oh,
best
yeah?
defensive forward.
Who can produce 20 to 30?
But by default, it's gone to the guy who fits that A criteria, but
Yeah.
also, he puts up 100 points. Now he becomes the automatic de facto
Yeah.
Selke winner. And that's why Bergeron was a really productive
Yeah.
player, but he was an amazing player on the defensive side of the game.
right.
That's why I think it's so obvious for Suzuki to win it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that guy. It could be a Cirelli,
Cirelli, yeah.
and it would be justifiable.
Yeah.
You could totally defend the choice.
Yeah.
But I think it's Nick's year. I really
me
do.
too.
And he deserves it.
Because these 100 points guys, they have the chance to win the Hart or whatever other trophy, the Richard Trophy.
Yeah, but these 100-point guys are Nick Suzuki, and they're not
No,
playing
but
the same game.
the whole
as-
reason the Selke came out was for players like Bob Gainey who would have never have won any these offensive trophies, and they're great defensively, right? This is why the Selke came out.
The Guy Carbonneau.
But that's why I'm just saying Cirelli is a good argument to make.
Who used
even-
to win it? Was it Datsuk who used to win it for Detroit
Datsuk
back
used to
in the
win
day?
it,
He
yeah.
was a big Selke winner, I think, back in the day, right?
That's
Yep. Datsuk, he also did he win the Lady Bing? I feel like Datsuk was a Lady Bing winner as well.
Probably.
So.
Yeah, but
Because I always think of one of those Selkies, one of the top, Bergeron for sure. But I was like, Datsuk has got to be.
No,
up there,
he was in there. I mean, and it's funny because you mentioned Guy Carbonneau. In today's NHL, Guy Carbonneau probably doesn't even get mentioned in the Selke conversation because he didn't have the offensive upside.
That's true.
But in the true era of best defensive forward, shutdown 3C, playoff guy, he's the guy like Gainey in that same model. It was a no-brainer. But somewhere along the line, that changed.
Yeah.
And it evolved into it's that guy, but also the guy who puts up 3 digits. Like it's just, I don't know when that happened. But good for Nick. I mean, somebody should win a trophy. I don't think Caulfield's going to win the Lady Bing this year. But nice for the nomination.
Because
But-
Mitch Melnick made a good point the other day. Was it? He was like he made a great argument for Cirelli, and
It's easy to.
Yeah.
Cirelli's a fantastic defensive player. There's no question about it. If Nick isn't having the year or had the year that he just had, I think Cirelli's probably a pretty good choice for it. But Nick had a career year. So guys who are in a career year, it's like Kopitar. You could make the argument for the other two guys in the Lady Bing, but Kopitar's retiring, so the NHL tends to skew towards, is there a guy having a moment? Did he have a milestone year? Is he retiring? Did he have... Dahlin's probably going to win the Masterton. The other two guys had great years. But Dahlin's got a real story, family-wise. It's going to be hard to argue against the guy with the headline, right? And I think Nick is the headline this year. He had the Olympic year and the whole thing.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, that was fun, guys.
Team Suzuki. Team Suzuki, baby.
Let's sign off. Thank you again, Sean, for coming.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sean.
And I hope it's not the last time. You're always
listen,
welcome to come.
Happy to come back. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for watching and sharing your thoughts in the chat. It was a little quiet tonight, the chat, but it was still good. We invite you to join us every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. It might be Friday next week because the game lands on Thursday. We'll see about that. And join us for another Live League Habs conversation. Until then, stay passionate, keep the love for the game alive. Have a good night.